from Friday, October 15th, 2021 at Santa Anita. I'd like to talk a little bit about why form handicappers are at such a disadvantage nowadays to the bettors that are making their betting decisions with Ability X ratings, and that particular ability rating as a guide for making betting decisions, and being coupled up with all the physical information that's available at the track or from the track on the video feed before the race goes off in the post parade and the warm up before the race out on the track. That is another reason why it seems almost like there's enough people using Ability X ratings where it's actually impacting the odds, and you can find hold cards all day long from the first race to the last, which seem to be about 2-1 on the payoff for the winners, 2-1 and 5-2. And let me see, this is the first time that I've really noticed this for any length of time at all, say a few weeks or a month or something like that, where it's almost boring looking at the list of 2-1 payoffs from the racetrack. And of course, well, we had a couple of $50 winners in the last several days, but that is getting to be much more of a rarity. And I want to talk about why a little bit today. And the basic reason is why, or the basic reason why is because form handicappers basically are trained to lose and to bet on horses for frivolous reasons, and reasons that don't really have much meaning to the results of today's race. Like, hey, a lot of times a form handicapper bets a horse just because it won the last race, or it ran real close up second, or the trainer is a big deal trainer that they think wins every race, instead of looking at the reality that the best trainers there are maybe win 1 out of 4 times, which is 25%. That's what that is. And 20%, many excellent trainers you'll find winning 20% of the time. That's 1 in 5. So that's the reality of that situation. But what's happening is a lot more are finding that Ability X ratings actually does reveal the ability of the horse to run around the track today at today's distance under today's conditions, and they're able to focus in on that, coupled with the physical information again, and zero in on winners to the extent that on a 10-race card, many people are finding 2 or 3, maybe even 3 races they could actually bet, and zeroing in on those couple races a day to the extent that they actually do win most of the time, at least half. And there you go. That ability rating is available at this URL up here, if you'd like to check that out. And we'll take a look at that web page here in a minute. But for now, I just wanted to point out that the backup for all that I just said is right here in the first race. The Ability X ratings run par is 100 for this distance and this turf surface. There's one horse here that is 1 point away from that par. It is the second or third morning line favorite. Its run rating is 99. It wins. Okay? And also in the second race, we have number 6 here, which is close and, maybe arguably, between the 6 and the 5, it's arguable about which one is closer or closest to this 150 run 90 early speed par. Number 6 wins, pays like 2 to 1. Same with the first race, about 2 to 1, about 2 to 1. But that brings us to the third, which is a 3/4 of a mile, 6 furlongs on the turf event for claimers, up to be claimed for $28,000, or that might be the purse. I'm not really sure, one or the other. But since it's on the grass, we might be able to see and tell from the par here that the early speed for the potential winners might be a little bit slower than if it were on the dirt, like this 97 over here in the fourth race. So we might be able to take that into consideration, and if we were to take in the lowest Ability X ratings, the 3 lowest ratings in this race at lower early speed, we might find number 7, number 8, and number 6 to focus in on. And should we do that, we find that those are the winners of the trifecta, with number 7 being the morning line favorite, being bet to 5 to 2 and winning the race. The 50-cent trifecta, $18, which it's not big or huge or anything, but it is 35 to 1 on the 50-cent level bet, which that's not bad. And if we take that information in from this grass surface race, realizing that dirt isn't really a whole lot different in terms of the horse's ability is concerned, we might take a look at the 3 races or 3 horses that are at the early speed par. Number 3, number 4, and number 12. Because if you took number 12 down to 97 early speed, you would take that 340 rating down to 320. Okay, and that is exactly on par. And with that group, you would see that we have one, although he's way out there on the outside, number 12, which handicappers are trained, never bet this horse. My God, that horse can't win a short race. He's way out there on the outside post position. Okay, well, then we have one a little higher, a little bigger run than par, And then we have number 3, which at par early speed has a huge run, 376. And that one's 12-1 in the morning line. So what happens if we were to take the idea of, hey, let's just take the 3 horses that are at that par early speed from the last race, and let's just throw them in a trifecta, because they all look great out there on the track, and they look like they're going to run a good race today, and actually want to run a good race today. Let's just do that. And what do we have? Well, I did have it there. Let's see if we can get it there again. Okay, there we go. And number 12 wins, a little better than 3-1. Number 3 pays better than 6-1 to place due to that 12-1 morning line. Makes that big run, and is able to get up for second. And then number 1, which we hopefully would have thrown in too, since it's the Ability X Ratings key horse, and the lowest rating of the whole bunch. Always a good reason to include that one. And we have a 50-cent level trifecta paying $86.35, which, that's about 160-1 on that 50-cent level bet. And that's not bad either. So all of these things you can do as you learn and get experience with making those betting decisions, and including the horses that really should be included and make sense to include. And you would be able to learn that, unlike form handicappers. They never learn anything but what the latest rules are and the newest formula. Same way Jack trades magic beans for a cow. But anyway, here's that URL again, and where you can find Winning a Living, and the special edition of Winning a Living that includes how to make Ability X ratings for yourself in the comfort of your own home, unless your neighbor will let you come over to his place and make them over there while you take breaks digging in his refrigerator. And there it is. And then we see some more examples of that 7 furlong 150/90 rating from over a few years, and we see how solid that is, and we can start to understand that is a big reason that the users of Ability X ratings have actually impacted odds all across the country, all across North America. But don't worry, there's plenty of room for you. The crowd using Ability X ratings is still, after 13 years, not huge. So you'll be able to fit right in and mix right in, and to start doing things like betting a couple of $100 on those horses that you have focused in on that might only pay around 5-2 or 3-1. Of course, that will bring back $500 to $600 to you, betting a couple of $100 to win. And that one right there, can make your day. Because there's always another day tomorrow, and there's always another card to examine for potential that might have 2 or possibly 3 races that you can actually bet on it. And there'll be one of those tomorrow. So, no reason to get all excited and start gambling your ass off, because it just isn't necessary when you have a good measure of ability like Ability X ratings. Of course, you'll find that Ability X ratings is the only good measure of ability that you can use to win more often than you lose. Very, very unlike form handicapping. And, of course, I thank you for joining me today. Hope to see you again real soon. Thank you very much.